Hey, I'm Shyfoxx, and today we will be drawing Spider-Man. I'm going to take you through this tutorial step by step so you can follow along and draw him too. To start off our Spider-Man, we're going to draw a circle. You'd think we might draw an oval for the head shape, but we're actually going to draw a circle. So on the slightly upper half of your page, lightly, see how light that is? Lightly go around a few times. That'll help you learn the motion of making a circle and sort of find your way to making a round circle. That looks pretty good. Okay, and we're gonna draw a line down the middle lightly. We're gonna draw a line cutting that in half. So we have a vertical and horizontal axis. Now we're going to use our fingers for measurement. This is 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. Straight down. Okay, so that's how we're going to get this face to be elongated. Okay, so we're going to start by sketching in the side of the head. And once you get to this point, where the horizontal axis is, we're going to start to drop off our circle. Slightly going inward. Now we will curve down, cut this in half, this final third. Cut this final third in half. You can even draw a line all the way through. Use a ruler if you're the kind of person that needs ruler guidance. I'm just gonna practice without. And once you get to curving your line around and down to here, we're going to start more immediately curving to where the chin's going to be. Now the catch with this is there has to be a nice little curve here, so it's almost like the bone of the jaw right there. We're trying to be as accurate as we can. Take your time, don't rush, pause the video if you need. I'm trying to take my time as well so that I can show you guys as accurately as I can the process. I'm just kind of sketching over what I've done to try and, it's kind of like doing the circle. Find the shape, better find the shape. And now the catch with this, do the other side symmetrically. All right, we can do it. So go around, follow your circle, get to that horizontal axis, slightly start to go in this way, just really slight, bring it down. Now you'll notice if I hold my pencil straight, I've only gone in tiny bit, like a finger's width on my paper, I guess depending on what scale you're drawing at, but this is to give you a sense of just how slight this angle is. And the other side, we can even do this. Is it about the same? Looks pretty good, looks about the same. And then curve off more rapidly to join up with the chin. So far, so good. And it is totally a fine idea to have a fairly bolded edging. Normally I'll do this sort of at the end, but as I'm sketching this, I'm just finding myself doing this. If this is your thing too, great. If it's not, don't worry, don't bother. Now, we're gonna draw, it's gonna seem kind of strange, a star in the middle of Spider-Man's face. Now this star is gonna be the center of the webbing and the center that's gonna help us position everything else. So find where your circle meets your vertical axis, okay? And from here, we're gonna draw a little curve on that side. It's fairly small. Little curve on that side. And do a little little blip up on each side because those are going to be points to our star. Curve down. This comes in a bit more. Curve down and attach. So it's a 5-pointed star. So you can observe mine. If that seems confusing to you, observe mine, draw yours in. Now, this is going to help us place the eyes. In some ways, the eyes, in my opinion, are the hardest part of this whole thing. Just because eyes are really important, and that if you don't quite get the placement of eyes right, it throws off the whole drawing. So eye placement in pretty much any sketch is critical. So we're going to take our time and we're going to fix it until it looks symmetrical with the other and looks right. So to get started, the placement is pretty easy. Just a small half finger in or pencil width in of the star point on one side. We're going to start on the right side and kind of mark it if that helps you. We're going to curve very upward but curved, and we're going to meet just above, and maybe it's good to draw this point here, just above this horizontal line in the middle of that circle. So you can draw that point here, and we're going to connect them with a curve, and then boop. Yeah, that's how I'm describing that. That's a bloop that you need to draw. So you just have a curve, S is in like an S, and then back up. So work on that shape. Let's do the other side first before we draw the round part of the eye, because it'll be easier to spot the problem if we do this one step at a time. So small pencils width-ish in, find that same spot on the other side, roughly here, and we're going to do the same shape, rapidly going quite upward, curve and attach. Now, very important to decide, do these lines look symmetrical? If they don't, now is the time to fix them, because we're going to move on and do the bottom part of the eye, and if these are symmetrical, it's going to help us make the bottoms of the eyes symmetrical. So we're going to curve out and droop down pretty far past our star. We're almost going to do a whole, I'm going to droop a little further. How far did we droop? Well, let's see. 1 star, 2 star, maybe 2.5 stars down. This isn't an exact science for this part, but the key to it all is symmetry. So as long as this looks symmetrical. Now we can add a little, okay, we can add something. I'm gonna stop myself, but we should probably do what I was saying. Let's take my own advice. I'm gonna take my own advice and draw the other side first before we start adding things. Okay, follow the process. Down, around. How far down are we going? About there. Touch, and come back up. Quite a bizarre shape when you really stare at it for a long time. That's okay. I'm gonna erase the inside guideline here and there. That thing I was talking about adding, we are not gonna add it yet. Yes, I'm gonna stop myself again. Very important that we fix either side to look symmetrical. I'm trying to fix them. Fix for symmetry. Okay. So observe yours. Are they the same? Roughly the same. The blip right here that I was gonna add a moment ago, but stop myself. It's really subtle. Blip. Just a little detailing, but it really does make it look more like Spider-Man. We're gonna add that. The inside of the eye is going to be much easier, thankfully. Hopefully. So just a pencil's width in and down, sort of centered to the star. Right about there. Do a dot, and then do a dot roughly here. So that'd be like 3 pencils down. It doesn't go as high. This is like 1 pencil's width here. This is like 3. Okay, so a 1/3 full 3, if that makes sense. Okay, and this is gonna curve to meet here. It's gonna get close in on this edge, closer in, and then go wide again. And then this is pretty well gonna follow all the way around. Now, to not ruin this, still want to feel like there's a pointed bit here where we put this initial dot. So a bit of a point there. Let's do the other side and decide if they are symmetrical. So 1 pencil's width in, 3 pencils width down. You can use your pencil to measure roughly here. And I'm fixing mine so that they can be as symmetrical as possible. We can only try, and that is good. Good for us. All right. Let's draw the webbing in. This part's kind of fun. Now that horizontal, sorry, not horizontal. Speaking of horizontal, let's erase that horizontal axis before we draw the webbing. That is the right thing to do in this case. That is the best thing we can do to help ourselves out. Okay, so erase those horizontal axes. Axes? Is that a word? Somebody please let me know. But we are gonna draw a line from the top. Even though we already have that line, we're not erasing that one, we're just kind of darkening it slightly. Attach it to our star. I'm just gonna erase the, if you haven't already, erase the bottom of that vertical line because it doesn't go all the way down. The star points say so, that it doesn't go like that. Now we're gonna stretch out from those star points, try and make them even. And then these star points, they do angle upward quite a bit. And they're gonna go really close in on Spider-Man's top of his eye and curve back. So there's like this definite curve here. So follow the eye and back. Great job. And there's some other lines stretching outward that we're gonna need. Put one here, one here. You can see how the angle is getting, what's the word? I was gonna say wider, which from the center it's going wider, so we can describe it that way. And we're gonna add a line here and a line here. They should be relatively evenly spaced apart. And we're gonna do the same thing here. One here, 2 here, so that we kind of have thirds. 1, 2, 3. And make sure when you're adding in these curved ones, they touch the very next one. They touch. That's kind of how spider webs work. Okay, and then do touching this one down and through. You can kind of go through the eye area if it lines up like that for you. Curve and down. Do a little line here and a little line here. We're just kind of imagining webbing going in there. Got 2 more web lines to do. Attaching to here. Little curve there and there. This will look good if we shade in Spider-Man's eyes. Well, eye outline and leave the inside. I said that like a question because I wasn't sure what to call it. I'll admit, I'm far better with the visual things than the word things. So when I'm describing the things to you, sometimes my choice of wording is questionable, but that's okay. Kind of makes me laugh a little. Get that shaded in, and I would recommend doing a nice thick border around the whole thing if you haven't done that already. And nice little touch, feel that it looks rather good to add sort of some thickness to the bottom. And we definitely want to feel, it shouldn't feel like one big oval. We took the time to get that cheekbone in, so there should be some urgency with that as it comes in. You can even bring it in more like I just did. I was thinking, maybe that would look good if I kind of did that. So we are just about done. I'm really liking the look of thickening this up. So I like a really thick border at the top, nice and bold. It's gonna make the artwork pop out big time. And I'm gonna do the same thing at the bottom, nice and bold here, where it actually stretches further down, like where the chin is. I'm actually adding to it. Gonna make this darker, really make that pop. You could go over any of your other lines if you feel they just are not quite dark enough, really. Okay, and I'm gonna call Spider-Man done. So awesome job sketching Spider-Man today, you guys. Thank you for drawing with me. You can use #drawwithshyfoxx, that's 2 X's at the end, on Instagram if you want to share your art with me and the community. I upload a new draw along video every single day, and you can comment below other characters and things you can think of that you'd like me to do a draw along of if you have suggestions. And I also have a pinned comment to every video, which is a question of the day. So check out the question of the day, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks guys, have a good one.